Good morning, 4 o'clock on the dot. I'm Kara Sewell.
And I'm Mark Istook, and we are with you a half hour earlier than usual. Don't have to adjust your clocks. It's because of the threat of severe weather this morning. So we want to check right in with our meteorologist, Greg Fields, with our first outlook today. Greg, we're talking about a potential for severe storms.
Yeah, we've been talking about all day yesterday, that 3 to 5 a.m. time frame. And that's what we're starting to see, finally beginning to see those thunderstorms fire up across North Texas. No warnings as of yet, no watches in effect either, but we are starting to see these thunderstorms develop. And here over the next hour, I do think we will see this line of storms that we're starting to see develop into a Collin, back into portions of Denton County there, down into the Metroplex. We'll see this fill in pretty quickly, I think, over the next hour or so. So you see what's developing up around Frisco, heading up toward McKinney. So we'll zoom in on that area there, right along Highway 380, heading toward Melissa, McKinney now. And you see that stretching down toward the colony, between Flower Mound there, Louisville, down toward Carrollton. Starting to see this line fill in a little bit more, and even a little farther south. I'm starting to see that activity pick up just a little bit between Cleburne, Joshua, up toward Burleson, the southern part of Tarrant County, moving into Fort Worth here this morning. So we will have a few more showers and storms developing along that front, and that severe potential is going to be with us here as we go through the early part of today. This will be a fast-moving line of storms. You see as we slide on up into Tarrant County there, a little further north, just north and west of Kennedale there, out along I-20. We are looking at developing a line of thunderstorms along the front that will be working its way through. Areas out to our west probably won't have to worry about any storms today. Everything's going to be lining up along that front we've been talking about that's going to be pushing through the area. So again, we'll see this line fill in, and that potential for the damaging wind threat, the hail, and maybe even that isolated tornado can't be ruled out as we go through the day. A few more showers and thunderstorms have developed on into our far eastern counties out towards Sulphur Springs and our southeastern areas. So again, one of those mornings, just be weather aware. Stay tuned. We're going to be keeping you updated, of course, all morning on what's happening in the time frame between now and 5 a.m. right along that front and in around the Metroplex areas up along the Red River and a little farther south. We'll have that development of the showers and thunderstorms across this location between now and 5 o'clock. Now that will shift a little farther east, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., getting east of the Metroplex on into our eastern counties. And again, that damaging wind and hail threat will be there as we go through the morning commute. But I think most areas as we head toward 8, 9 o'clock in and around the Metroplex should be clearing out as far as the storms are concerned. And you can kind of see that with our time cast here this morning, too. We'll see the showers and thunderstorms that are developing across the area right now. And as we put this into motion for you, you see these storms are going to blossom a little bit more as we go through the morning hours here. As we head toward 5 a.m., we will see that line of storms starting to fill in a little bit more across our area. And then as we head towards 6, 7 o'clock, you see that begins to push a little farther east and south. And then as we head toward 8, 9 o'clock here this morning, I think that should start to wind down over most of the Metroplex. But again, as we just talked about, that severe weather threat will be continuing as we head towards 7 a.m. areas east and south of Dallas and Fort Worth. And about 8, 9 o'clock here this morning, all that should be moving on into East Texas. Things will begin to settle down across our area as we head into this afternoon, and it will be breezy and much cooler. So this is going to be a morning storm event very early in the morning. Hopefully by the latter half of the morning rush, things start to settle down a little bit for you, and that won't impact you too much. But here are the storm concerns for us. That large hail, it's going to be a concern along with the damaging wind threat. Those are going to be the greatest risk. Tornado threat is not zero, but it's going to be on the lower side today. But we will watch for that as this line develops and works its way east through the area here this morning. Flooding not going to be a huge concern across our area today, but again, some locally heavy downpours. Those flood-prone areas, you'll need to be worried about that, as we will see some areas, especially in and around construction zones, the typical areas that flood where we see some heavy rain. That's something to keep in mind, too, as you get out and about trying to get to work and get the kids off to school here this morning. But yeah, the main concerns will be the damaging winds, large hail, and maybe that brief spin-up tornado as well. So here's the severe weather outlook for a little bit later today. As that line pushes a little farther east, we are looking at that marginal to slight risk for the damaging winds, hail, and the isolated tornado. That's a little farther east here as we go through the day today. In the meantime, it is warm, it is humid. Heading out to Fair Park, looking at 76 degrees. Those winds very gusty out of the south. They will come around out of the northwest as that front moves through, though, but they are gusting to 22 miles per hour. Very warm and muggy out there for you right now. So if you've stepped out the door, you'll notice the difference. There's the front working its way in. Notice on the backside of that, Mineral Wells in the upper 60s, Graham in the low 60s, heading up to Bowie, you're at 62. But those mid-upper 70s, very soupy air. That's going to fuel the thunderstorm development along the front as it works its way through the area here for today. So here's a look at your day planner. By 7 a.m., again, I think we're going to be winding down as far as the showers and thunderstorms are concerned across North Texas. Won't be quite out of the woods yet, but we'll be talking more about that as we go through the morning. But things will start to move a little farther east around 7 a.m. So that's why I'm only putting in 20% coverage between now and then, though. That's when we'll have the best chance for those thunderstorms. Notice the temperatures and those winds. They will start to calm down a little bit for us as we get into this afternoon. But we are looking at northwest winds, temperatures only in the lower 70s with partly sunny skies as we head into the latter half of the afternoon.